Hi guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Ksenia. I make videos for people who are going through the family green card process. I'm not an attorney. My videos are based on public information, my own experience, and the experience of my subscribers. And the purpose of my channel is to give you guys the confidence to go through this process completely on your own. USCIS finally added an online filing option for one of the most crucial forms in the green card process, and that is the form I-751, removal of conditions. If, however, you choose to still continue to file your I-751 case by mail, that is totally okay. And you can find a guide for that packet on my channel in my removal of conditions playlist. For this online submission of the form I-751, you first need to fill the form out in PDF on your computer, and then you can upload it online via your USCIS account. So first, log into your online USCIS account, and this would be the account of the person who applied for a green card. So you should not be submitting this form from the USCIS account of, for example, your US citizen spouse who petitioned you for a green card or fiance visa. Once you log in, either click file the form online here or go to my account and click the button that says file a form online. Next, select the form which you would like to file. Right here, I-751. So start the form. You can read through all of this at your own time. This is basically some pre-form instructions that you need to be aware of. You also will not need to submit separate I-751s for your children. They are already automatically included in this application. Unless, of course, they obtained their conditional residence 90 days after you, then they would need to submit their own application. Read all of this at your own time and start the form. So first, you will need to select the basis of eligibility, just like in the paper form, whether you are filing this jointly with your spouse, or if you are a conditional child who's not able to be included in the application, just like what we discussed a couple of minutes ago, or if you're filing single based on a specific circumstance. They will then ask you if you are currently under active military or government orders overseas. If you are, then in the evidence section, they will ask you to submit additional evidence, such as the form FD-258, military or government orders, and all of that, again, is something that you can find in the form instructions also. And then if you select that you're submitting a waiver of joint filing, which means you're submitting your I-751 solo, they will then give you another option of what is the reason for filing. So if you click my spouse is deceased, then in the evidence section later, they will ask you to provide your spouse's or step-parent's death certificate. If you got a divorce, then they will ask you to provide termination of marriage. If you are submitting based on battery or cruelty, which means abuse, then you will need to provide evidence of that. In our case, we're going to select that we are filing jointly with our spouse and we are not under active military orders. Next, they're asking you if you're able to pay the filing fee. The I-751 application does allow you to submit a request for a fee waiver. So if you click no, they will give you an opportunity to submit a fee waiver request. You can request a fee waiver if, for example, you have financial difficulties or an unexpected circumstance. If your household income falls below a certain poverty guideline, or if you or your spouse are receiving means-tested benefits. So if you want to request a fee waiver, when you scroll down, you will be asked to upload the form I-912. Now, this is very important. While the form I-751, when we get to it later, you don't have to sign it in pen before uploading the PDF version of it here in the online submission. However, for the form I-912, you do need to submit it as a scanned version with a pen signature. I filled out the form I-912, and then, as you can see, I didn't fill out all of it, of course, just for the sake of showing you a sample. So I filled it out on my computer, I printed it, I signed it, and then I scanned it back to my computer. And right here on page 5, you will need to sign, then you will be able to upload it here. If you upload it without a signature, let's say, for example, I'll give you just a simple unsigned version, you will see what happens. So select type I-912. They will do a quick check of your form. You will see that if you upload an unsigned I-912, you will receive an error. And they will let you know that there does not appear to be a signature on your request. Now, let's delete this and see what happens when we upload a scanned, signed version of I-912. And after completing the checks on your application, if you sign where it's supposed to be, you will see a complete message in this part. So do make sure that for this specific fee exemption, you are printing it out, signing it in part 7, and then scanning it to your computer to upload. If you don't have an actual scanner, you can use an app, which is what I used to scan this form. And I will post the app on the screen, and I will also link it in the description box of this video. Also, for the fee waiver request, you will need to upload evidence that supports your fee waiver request. And again, the evidence varies depending on the circumstance of why you're requesting the fee waiver. So read the form instructions carefully. And you can upload as many documents as you need. You can select 5 documents at one time to be uploaded, but if you need to upload more than 5, you can still do that. This is how you would do the fee waiver portion of this application. Click Next. Now, in this next part is where you will upload the actual PDF of the form I-751. When uploading the form I-751, you will generally have 2 options to do that. You can upload I-751 after filling it out in PDF on your computer without having to print and sign it. And at the end of this online process, you will then be prompted to type in your full name in order to create an electronic signature that will then be applied to your form. Or you can upload the I-751 after filling it out on your computer, printing it, signing it in pen, and scanning it back to your computer in order to upload it in this section of the application. And then in the review, sign, and submit section, you will then see a message that says we were able to detect a signature in your form. When you print out your I-751 application in order to sign it in a pen, do make sure that when printing it, you set your printer parameters so that on your page, you're able to clearly see the barcode at the bottom. Same applies to you scanning the document back to your computer. You want to make sure that all the barcodes are clearly visible and not cut off. If the barcodes are not clearly visible, you will receive the following error. So in order to correct that, do make sure that your pages are scanned in a correct order, that all pages are present, and that the barcode is visible. So once you upload this form and it says complete, you can go ahead and click next. And now we are at the evidence portion. So first, you will need to upload your permanent resident card. For example, I have the front and the back of the permanent resident card scanned or taken a picture of. So let's upload that. Next, you're asked to submit evidence of relationship, and here they give you the instructions directly the same way as from the form instructions themselves. If you need more ideas of what kind of evidence you want to upload for this form, you can check out a video I made giving you some ideas of bona fide marital evidence. Submit evidence from the date of marriage to the present date. So not just the evidence from the date of you becoming a conditional permanent resident, but the evidence of your entire marriage. So to upload, you can select multiple files. And I will show you that you can upload more than 5. So let's say, for example, I'm going to select more documents. Pretend that these are different documents that I'm uploading. But as you can see, you can upload as many as necessary. So the limit is not 5. You can include the photographic evidence here. Once you upload all of this evidence, click next. Let's talk about criminal history. If you have ever been arrested or detained, even if there were no charges, you will still need to provide evidence of this. They also talk about the traffic incidents. They do tell you not to submit evidence of minor traffic violation. If you have nothing to report here, you can simply click next. You may get an alert, a yellow alert, that says that you didn't upload any evidence here, but truly, if you have nothing to report, you can ignore this completely if it doesn't apply to you. Click next. If you have any other additional evidence you would like to provide, maybe you need to explain something in your application, differences in your supporting documents that you would like to clarify or explain, you can create a Word document and then save it in PDF and upload it here. Same here, if you have no additional evidence to provide, you can ignore this yellow alert and click next. And then you will be taken to a page that tells you to double check your application, and they will tell you if there's anything missing and then what your filing fee is. Just because you submit a fee waiver request doesn't necessarily mean you will be approved for it. And they do let you know that if they believe that you do not qualify for a fee waiver, your form will be rejected and you will have to resubmit it again. If you say you are able to pay the filing fee and you have nothing uploaded here, when you go to the review and submit section of the application, they will tell you what your filing fee is. And if you notice, the online application does give you a $50 discount for filing it online. So you will only need to pay $700. Also remember, USCIS does not collect separate biometrics fees. They are already included in the application's fees. Once you're ready to submit, click next. Check your application for completion. Click next. And then we already talked about signatures. So click next. Once you click pay and submit, you will then be directed to a separate page where you will be asked to pay the filing fee. This is pretty much it. After you submit your application, you may not necessarily receive the online receipt notice immediately, but it will eventually appear in your Documents tab on the online USCIS account a couple of days after. And soon after that, you should also receive a paper receipt from USCIS by mail. I am a huge fan of this entire process because there is very little that you will need to organize. You just need to make sure that you fill out the application correctly and that you have all the evidence collected on your computer. If I had a chance to do it online back when I was applying, I would absolutely choose this option. You do not need to submit a cover letter. You do not need to print anything out. So if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, give it a thumbs up, and I hope to see you guys in my next videos. Bye!